Well, some renters in Ottawa were supposed to see an automatic drop in their monthly payment as of January 1st, but there has been some confusion over whether tenants should actually pay their landlords less. One city councillor says that she has been inundated with correspondence from confused renters who live in apartment buildings built before 2001 due to a reduction in their landlord's property taxes. Let's bring in City Councillor Theresa Kavanagh with more on this today. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Will.
And it's so great to have you right away because as of January 1st, there's definitely some confusion on the tenant side. What have you heard from tenants in your ward specifically?
Well, they all got letters from the city, and the city said that we're reducing your tax. This is something that we made a decision about last year, and so it was coming. And it was about fairness because the older buildings were actually paying a higher tax ratio than buildings built after 2001 and homeowners. So the tax ratio was higher. That wasn't fair. And it tends to be people that live in these older buildings tend to be people that have been there for a long time. They're usually not paying as much rent because of the fact that they're older buildings. They certainly could use a little break. And so they got a letter saying you can reduce your tax or your rent because of this tax break by 0.89%. Now, so if you're paying $2,000 in rent a month, that would be about $16. So that was very nice, except that they got a letter from their landlords, another letter saying, don't do it, don't reduce your rent because we're going to the landlord-tenant board. And that's because the city has charged us more for garbage, for waste management. So we're taking it to the landlord-tenant board. So that caused confusion. So if the tenants follow through on the city, they may be, the landlords are saying that they're going to be challenged.
So what would your advice be to those renters right now, with all these details that you have? They want to pay the $16 less, let's say if it's the $2,000 rent. Landlords say don't do that because of that. So what would your advice be to the renters as of this moment?
They can reduce their rent, and if they want to challenge the landlord, they can go through the landlord-tenant board and challenge it with a T3 form. Here's the catch. The form, you have to pay $53. So that doesn't sound like it's very much of an incentive to challenge landlords. I mean, the landlords have known this for a long time, that this this tax reduction was coming. In fact, they're very much in favor of it. It was helpful for them. But they said, whoa, the city's charging us more for something else. Well, I see that as apples and oranges. You should give the tenants that break. You're going to work out the other increase because of the garbage pickup later. But right now, the tenants deserve this break, and this is coming in over 4 years. It'll take that long to bring in the full equity.
Okay, and you say that that the landlords have been aware that this has been coming down the line.
Oh, yeah.
If we play both sides of each story here, the landlords are saying that this is going to have an impact on their investment, on maintenance of the building. How do you find the balance between what you're doing with the renters as well as the landlords with the city? How do you find that equal balance?
Well, the tax is being reduced, so they're paying less tax on behalf of the renters. So, but it should be the whole point of it is to pass it on to the tenants. That is what the city was trying to do, trying to give a break to tenants. And as I said, it's going to take over 4 years to be fully in place. But the landlords saw this other increase in costs. We all saw increases in costs for garbage pickup and other things on our tax bill. But they're using this as a reason to take that money, that $16 or whatever it is,
right,
and say, well, no, we need that to pay for this extra cost that's coming from the city.
Got it.
So I realize it's confusing, and it's taken out of our hands. Once we've done it, and it becomes a landlord-tenant board issue, it goes to the provincial level. And I know my counterparts at the provincial level, like Chandra Pasma, Catherine McKenney, have been working with tenants on this issue because it's no longer something the city's fighting, but it's being taken to that board.
Right, okay, well, great advice, especially having you on just to give us a little guidance from the renters. Always appreciate your time, Theresa.
Thanks, Will.